All right, Chrissy, thank you. A gas station robbery caught on camera, and a student gets a sweet surprise on the first day of school.
Fox Carolina's digital producer Anissa Snipes shows us what's clicking on our website, foxcarolina.com.
The impact of Hurricane Idalia was caught on camera across the southeast. Take a look. You could see the force of floodwaters taking out everything in its path. Watch as a home along Horseshoe Beach in Florida is destroyed in minutes. The structure breaks apart, leaving it in pieces and submerged underwater. Researchers say insured property loss in Florida was projected to hit $9.36 billion. Deputies in Florida are trying to capture a suspect who violently attacked a woman in a robbery. Surveillance video shows the suspect walk into the 7-Eleven with a box cutter. He grabs the cashier by the throat and forces her to open the register before running away. Officials say to watch this criminal attack an employee trying to make an honest living goes against everything the sheriff's office stands for. Now this is sure to make your heart smile. It's the first day of school, and a young boy is reunited with his dad after a year-long deployment. The boy thinks the school mascot just stopped by his class, but little does he know it's his dad. What a sweet way to start the school year off. You can find all of these videos and more on our website at foxcarolina.com. For What's Clicking, I'm Anissa Snipes.